Hi everyone, a quick overview of the stock market and what to expect going into next week. I'm just going to give a brief breakdown of certain categories. So if you are holding stocks into certain categories, it will give you kind of a little overview or my perspective of what to expect going into next week and all the weeks to come. So I just want to go over some of the history and what happened the past week. We know we got CPI report and PPI report, and they both looked better than they were expected, at least at on the surface. For the past 5 months, the CPI report has been looking good, and the data shows that there is the inflation is going down, at least on the surface. If you dig deep into the CPI reports, however, you do realize that some of the categories are still showing high inflation. Having said that, uh, Donald Trump is kind of aggravated with Jerome Powell that he's not cutting rates where he thinks that all the rates, all the CPI reports and job reports are looking good. And we need to go ahead and cut the rates immediately. And he calls it Mr. Too Late is too late again. And I'm also of the opinion that yes, maybe at this point, Jerome Powell may be a little late and he should start cutting immediately. Some of the administrators in the White House, or actually in the Fed, are claiming that maybe Jerome Powell should cut rates in July. There was 0% chance of rate cut in July, but now the chances have gone up 4.5%, at least as of yesterday. I haven't checked what it is today. September rate cut is definitely priced in because everybody is expecting there is 45% of rate cut in September, quarter, 25 basis points. We did get some earnings last week. I think Netflix. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking about the name. Netflix earning came last week and they beat across the board, but the stock still dropped. And why did the stock drop? I think the stock is dropping because all the investors and institutions are cashing in all the profits that they've earned so far, because everybody is waiting on the sideline with their money to see what impact tariff is going to have on the stock market. Of course, the influence is not showing, at least so far this month in June, because it's still early. But coming into next month, I think we're going to see more impact of tariffs on the stock market and on the economy in general. So people are taking profits right now because they want to lock in those profits, and then once they see what the report looks like into coming months, then maybe they'll just jump back into the market and invest in it. Some of the categories that I'm waiting to go up. I know cryptocurrency has been very hot lately, and we do realize that some of the companies who were holding Bitcoin as their treasury, they are going very high. So there are multiple ways that you can invest into cryptocurrencies. You can either buy Bitcoin directly, or you can buy into those ETFs who are invested heavily into Bitcoin. Michael's MicroStrategy was the first one to start this, and now so many other companies, for example, BT, GAME, BTOG. These are the ticker symbols that I'm telling you, and so many more. Just search up. You can. I mean, it's so easy now. You can tell ChatGPT or AI, and they will just give you a whole list of all the companies who are holding crypto as their treasury. All these stocks are doing very well, and enthusiasm of Bitcoin prices going high, and they're expecting it to go much higher. The other space that I want to mention is, of course, the quantum space. I know the quantum had plummeted when NVIDIA's CEO made a comment in last earning call stating that we still have 15 to 20 years before quantum computing is going to be useful for us, and as a result, all the quantum stocks had collapsed. But quantum stocks are going up again because sooner CEO of NVIDIA realized that the statement that he made is no longer valid, and he needs to go back and make a new statement. And since then, stocks have been going up. So all the quantum stocks are going to do well this quarter. So these are not long-term hold for now, in my opinion, because they're still very volatile, and we don't have any sales that we can see that have been reported by any of these quantum companies. However, the software is there, and the need of the quantum is going to increase as time flies. So maybe to me it's a swing trade option, or it could be a short to medium term for now, but not long-term hold, in my opinion. You can, however, build your portfolio around these for like next 5 years maybe, and then forget about it. And in 5 years, I'm sure you'll make lots of money on in the quantum space. The other thing is AI. Any stock, you put word AI next to it, and it will start flying. There are lots of stocks that are related to AI right now. And if you are invested into those, again, very high risk, of course, you cannot hold them in long term, medium term maybe, or swing trade is a good option for AI. Not a personalized financial advice, by the way. But also you can build your portfolio around these because again, 5 year time horizon, you can of course keep it for 5 years and forget, buy them, forget about them, and in 5 years, I'm sure you will not regret holding those stocks. So what to expect going into next week? There are lots of news coming up for all these big companies, of course. For example, Tesla, Uber, Nvidia, Palantir, they all have lots of news coming up. But then all these different categories of stocks, quantum AI is also going to be very profitable in the short term, medium term as well. So you can hold on to those stocks, swing trade them, or maybe build your portfolio around them. We have next FOMC meeting on July 30th. We'll see how Jerome Powell is going to. We'll see, we'll see how Jerome Powell is uh, going to. Sorry, that was my husband. He's acting so weird. So we'll see how what Jerome Powell's decision is going to be, whether Fed is going to announce a rate cut in September or possibly in July, which I don't think is going to happen. September is definitely doable. The problem is if they do a rate cut in September, there is no FOMC meeting before September rate cut date. So the FOMC meeting is after they decide to do a rate cut, Sorry, my bad. The CPI report is not coming until after the September FOMC meeting, which is crazy because uh, the CPI is scheduled for a day after the FOMC meeting, and if Fed decides to cut rate in September, they will be still relying on the current data, which is making some of the uh, officials in Wall Street and officials in the Federal Reserve, that why not cut the rate now? What difference is it going to make whether you do it in 6 months or in 6 weeks period or do it now? Which makes sense because they're still going to be deciding based off of the current data, and they will not have the CPI report until the day after the September FOMC meeting, when Jerome Powell will have to announce whether he's going to cut rate or not. So that's my take. I hope it helps you guys. I'm very enthusiastic. I'm very positive. Yes, there may be small pullbacks because we have not seen the impact of tariffs on our economy yet. Maybe minor, but we have major, we have major changes to occur in the coming months. So once that happens, I think it will give us a clear direction which way the market is going. I guess market is just brushing off every news because if you look at the stock market, it's hitting all-time high, and I don't think investors are actually worried at all. But there are still lots of money sitting on the sideline, which they are going to FOMO in once these tariff inflation shows up in this, in the economy. Take care. I'm excited for next week because I know there are lots of news cooking. I'm just following closely this Epstein issue and Donald Trump and all that, conspiracy theory. I'm not very interested into this kind of stuff. But now that I'm involved in the stock market, I keep an eye on every news. Take care. Go out, be safe, make some money. Until next one. Bye.